I feel like it's a bit flawed. You would treat Zambia like you would treat Harrods or Google or the like. Hey guys, Zambia has made the best deal of 2023, best economic policy, best geopolitical move of 2020. They made a deal that they're going to be paying at an interest rate of 1% on their principal repayments from 2026 until 2035. And that's a massive move and a massive thing that we need to talk about, because across Africa, most African nations pay a very high interest rate compared to other countries. And we're not just talking developed countries as well. Even amongst other developing countries that are similar to Africa, Africa tends to pay a higher interest rate than those countries. So Zambia having less than 1% interest rate on their debts is a massive win for the country that needs to rebuild, that needs to develop, and they are trying their best to do that. And I think this move by the president is a massive deal and it deserves a round of applause from all Africans. There's a couple of reasons why Africa has charged high interest rates. Those are that there's a perceived negative risk of the country that is a very high risk continent, that there's going to be one, political risks, and also there's economic risks and exchange risks. So those political risks are, there might be a coup and that sort of stuff. Those exchange risks is that, because African countries tend to be more about production in terms of agricultural goods. If those goods are no longer valuable in the market, the currency will fall, and then they might not be able to pay and end up defaulting on their debt. And then economic risk, the economy is not just strong enough, it's not diverse enough. But with that said, it kind of creates a self-fulfilling prophecy if you have these high interest rates, because you're making it even harder for them to repay debts by giving them a high debt. One of the reasons I think Africa has also got high interest rates, other than those risks, perceived risks, is that there was also, just in the not so long ago, there was the sovereign debt crisis with Portugal, Italy, Greece and Spain, who were part of the EU. And if those countries could default on their debt, how much more Africa? But the circumstances of those countries are quite different from African countries. Africa's situation is completely different. There's a completely different dynamic. And like I said, these high interest rates could be, some economists, some people have studied, even the UN have said, Africa pays 8 times more in interest than other countries, and there's other issues around that as well. The key thing is, should Africa be paying such high interest rates? I don't think so, because if you look at countries versus an individual or a business, it's very different. Like, individuals can default on their debt, become bankrupt and become poor forever and not be able to get a job, or and people die as well. Whereas, and also with companies, if you're not making profit, once a company goes bust, it goes bust. There's no coming back for it. But with countries, there's always going to be some level of money being earned. People need to be serviced with something. People need to buy something to survive, and that's what creates the GDP or economic growth. So companies will come in, people will start businesses, people will sell things within that country. They'll import things, they'll export things so that they can get other things. So to treat countries like companies and individuals and put those kind of high interest rates based on a model of credit risk and the like, I feel like it's a bit flawed, in my opinion, that you would treat Zambia like you would treat Harrods or Google or the like. That different things. Like, Google survives on making profit, whereas Zambia doesn't need to make profit. It exists as a country to serve the people in that geopolitical border. So as long as people are following the rules, paying their taxes, companies are coming in, paying their taxes, people are raising revenue and all that sort of stuff, that country will exist for as long as we can think about it. Like Egypt, Libya, Italy have existed even before IMF or World Bank or even the US existed. So it's a bit crazy to sort of put a higher risk premium on countries. I think at the maximum, countries should pay 2 times more than developed countries, really. The interest rate spread shouldn't be so big that we see that, you can get the US paying under 1% and Zambia paying like maybe 10 or 12% or something ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. They're countries, they're not companies. It's a different ball game. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to tell you that, and also just commend Zambia for getting this really great deal. It's really important for the country. I hope it sets a really good precedent for it, and I think it's great economic strategy, which is what this channel is all about. In terms of how Africa can develop, it's about understanding economics and strategy, and they've done a great job. So well done, Zambians, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.